when I look at Ricardo Pepi, you're telling me in 26 players, you can't find a spot for Ricardo Pepi? And maybe this was about making it easier. Like you said, maybe it was about not having the conflicts of knowing, well, this guy's probably not going to play. And is he a good locker room guy? Will he accept that role at the moment? Or can he and again, I'm speculating on a bunch of things, but the Ricardo Pepi one is probably the biggest omission for me. Actually, Zach Steffen's huge too. But the Ricardo Pepi one for me, considering he left, got into a new environment, has been scoring, has been playing well. Like that to me is one where I'm like, it feels like something bigger than this. Now, I don't think it is with Ricardo Pepi. I do think this is the one selection that Gregg was like, well, I had to look at him. He didn't really do much for me. And even though he's in form right now, is he any different than Josh Sargent? Is Josh Sargent any different than Ricardo Pepi? These are the guys I trust. Even if it's 1% more, this is what I'm going to go with, right? Because ultimately, it's easy for us to sit right now and go, yeah, I'll take all these guys. But we're watching 90 minutes of a 24-hour day, right? Of a 7-day camp. You and I know how much happens outside of that. People, how they act in the locker room, people, how they act in the meal room, people, how they act in video sessions, who's leaning back, who's sitting back, who's huffing and puffing in the background, who's mad when they get criticized by the coaching staff, who can handle that criticism, what types of egos and personalities. You are building and managing all of that all the time. And we just look at him on the field and go, well, shoot, Ricardo Pepi scoring goals, so of course he should be on the team. And so I wonder what Gregg's actual criteria was for saying this guy's not coming to a World Cup, he's not ready. You know, because that's the one that doesn't make any sense for me.
Like if Ricardo Pepi had stayed at Augsburg and he wasn't scoring and he was still in that same rut that he was since he had made the move over there, everybody would be like, all right.
Yeah.
But he World
moved, Cup in the summer, he went to make the team. And I would have been like, he's not there yet. No problem.
Yeah, right. No problem. He moves. He's proactive and tried to find a better situation. And from what I understand, I thought Gregg was trying to help him make that move and to find a team that would play him and trust him and give him those minutes. And the guy's gone and done what he's needed to do. And not only that, he's doing the little things that we thought that Gregg liked. He's back, he's pressing back behind the ball, or, he's trying to get the defensive mids that like kind of hidden pressure from a striker, maybe poke the ball away. That's led to some good opportunities. He's being advantageous. He's being opportunistic. Hey, by the way, he's taking his chances. Like,
Jimmy,
crazy.
By the way, there is some speculation. Charles Bohms tweeted that there is an injury issue that was taken into contemplation for where Ricardo Pepi is at. So if that is the case, then I don't want to over speculate. We'll see more on how that plays out. But we're seeing this with Luca De La Torre. He's back in training, and Luca De La Torre has played 50 minutes this season, or 60, whatever it is. Don't quote me on the exact number, but less than a total match over the whole season, and is now coming out of an injury where he's starting to involve himself back into training again. Probably has 1 or 2 matches left before he's got to go into camp. Where is his fitness? How do you test that? Again, you can always reverse it. Know. Ricardo Pepi, you could always take him. You can always reverse it. You could always say, hey, he's not good. We need to call in our alternates. And so, yeah, it's. I would like to believe it's not. I haven't read anything about Ricardo Pepi leading up to today.
I think what it's going to frustrate fans, and I consider us fans that have some former playing experience, but
and not the other way around.
Yes, we're definitely fans, and I think what's hard sometimes, and I'm glad you brought up the point about that players are being judged and evaluated in almost every facet of how they fit in within the team.
Which made us nervous, by the way. I used to walk on.
Under Bob Bradley for sure.
Yeah, but I used to walk on eggshells, thinking like, dude, am I walking like shoulders up, shoulders back? Like, do I look like? Am I walking that maybe somebody will perceive me as arrogant, or like, am I sitting in my chair in a way that is perceived as like not in on the group? Or I remember getting called out for sitting at too many tables.
I got called out by Bob for sitting at the same table with the same jokers every time. He called them jokers because I was sitting next to Pablo Mastroianni and Matt
Jimmy,
Reeves.
I got the exact opposite. I was like, and I think Charlie got it too, which is like, yo, you're sitting over here with these guys, and the next time you're sitting over there with those guys, like almost like it was like find your tribe type of thing. And I was like, what do you want me to do, man? You want us to but again, not so much about that, but we see things through a very small window of time where, again, you and I have been pissed off after a game. You go into a video session and you're like, I don't want to hear this. And how you react and how you handle those types of things are really important. Again, not to say that that's being played into it, but of course, if you're on their side, you're taking a lot more into account than who are the best 26 players that we have. And then how do we make them a team? You're saying, well, we tried this. We tinkered with that. We don't have the right players for here. Or we don't have the depth, or I've got this feeling this guy's really ready to do this, or whatever it could be. There's a million. I'm trying to give as much credit as I can, Jimmy, to the staff, considering this is their 24-hour-a-day job to analyze this, to watch the players, to scout, to visit, to monitor, to develop the relationships with them, and then to make a final decision. I'm shocked with Shaq Moore. I'm shocked with Christian Roldan because I just thought maybe not. I'm shocked with Jordan Morris, but again, going into the last camp, I started to see maybe Areola, I think Areola plays a little bit of a role within all of that. But the Ricardo Pepi
I didn't know Areola was injured, so that's interesting.
The Ricardo, I'd heard that he had left just yesterday. I'd heard, I don't think he left yesterday, but I'd heard yesterday that he had left or gotten injured in this
that's
this sort of off-season camp. But the good thing is to shift it all to the positive. And we can go back to the negative whenever you're ready, because I'm here for that.
Negative sounds really strong and dramatic. I'm feeling more
critical. Like,
I'm kind of more in shock and awe about some of the names that are on this list, given that they weren't even close or even on the tip of most people's tongues when this happened.
Again, the good side is right now I can give you 15 players we can go to that you'll probably agree with, that we can rely upon in a World Cup game to rotate between matches of who we're going to play against, including a back four, where I now am comfortable with Tim Ream, Walker Zimmerman, Robinson, and Dest, right? We've got Matt Turner in goal. That's pretty clear. That's my back five. I don't think you go with anything other than that unless you're trying to play a different type of game than maybe you have Cameron Carter-Vickers.
Okay, so you got Turner in goal.
Yeah.
Start me over. I was lost in my own thoughts and my feelings.
Turner in goal.
So,
Robinson, Ream, Zimmerman, and Dest.
Done.
Okay.
Done. Perfect.
Okay.
I'm in.
MMA.
Okay. So for everybody but for me, it might be Musa, McKinney, and Adams. That's for everybody that's
McKinney,
unaware of the
Adams.
acronym MMA. Yes.
Okay.
McKinney,
Now,
Musa,
if McKinney's not ready, I've got Reyna there. And then you're going either Aronson or Weah on the right. Pulisic on the left. And then up top, Ricardo Pepi.
I would have said the same thing. I probably would have started Ricardo.
He's not making the team, but I'm starting him in
Ricardo Pepi. I can't believe that he's not even an option.
Ferreira has not been clinical in the playoffs. I do think he's proven himself in the national team.
Ferreira's a second striker. He's better off the shoulder of somebody.
Sargent was in peak form, falling out of form a little bit, playing in the championship, scrapping, fighting for everything. Yeah. But another guy that I think deserves to make the roster.
Haji Wright's coming out of left field, starting for us in the first game against Wales. I mean, at this point,
Haji Wright's your mixer guy. We know that, right? That's the
20 minutes.
That's the slow clap. Slow clap. Colin Acosta goes out for the corner kick to whip it in. We got a chance for a sub. Fans are on their feet. We got one last gasp. The college soccer countdown. We got 10 seconds left on the clock. You put Haji Wright in and see what he can make out of it. Now it's a little bit extreme, but that's where I see his role within all this, knowing that he could be your Wondolowski. Now, granted, we know Wondolowski with the Belgium thing is probably what he's remembered for. But Wondolowski as a player was that guy that could finish if you gave him the chance. And his role in the national team was established because of that.